Bug and defect related questions are some of the most commonly asked in software testing interviews. So in this session, we will focus entirely on interview questions around bugs and defects, helping you get fully prepared to tackle them with confidence. Hi everyone, welcome to the manual testing interview series. I am Ranjit, and in this session I will be sharing key concepts and frequently asked questions in manual testing, everything you need to boost your interview preparation. Let's begin with a very commonly asked question. Question number 1. What is the difference between bug and defect? A bug is a flaw or error discovered during testing, while a defect refers to a deviation from the expected behavior or requirements. Bugs are usually found after the product is developed, whereas defects typically occur during the design or coding phases. Here is an example. If the login requirement allows only 8 to 12 character passwords, but the developer allows any length, that's a defect. If a tester logs in with a 15 character passwords and if it works, that's the bug observed due to that defect. Now let's move on to another important interview question. Question number 2. Explain bug life cycle or defect life cycle. The bug life cycle, also known as the defect life cycle, describes the journey a bug takes from discovery to closure. This process ensures that defects are properly tracked, assigned, resolved, and verified. A bug, in simple terms, is an informal way of referring to a defect, which means the software is not functioning as expected. In testing, a bug can also be referred to as an issue, fault, or failure, usually caused by an error in the code or logic. Here is a visual representation of the bug life cycle. It starts with the new status when a tester reports the bug. It's then assigned to a developer who investigates and changes the status to open. Once fixed, the status becomes fixed and then moves to pending retest. The tester retests it, and if it's working, it's marked as verified and then closed. If the issue still exists, it is reopened. There are also alternate statuses such as duplicate, rejected, deferred, or not a bug, depending on the situation. This slide provides a brief explanation of each bug status in the life cycle. For example, new means the bug has been reported, while open indicates the developer is analyzing it. Fixed means the issue has been addressed, and retest is when the tester checks the fix. If everything works fine, the bug is verified and closed. If not, it may be reopened. Alternate statuses include duplicate, which means it's already reported. Rejected, which means it's not accepted as a valid issue. Deferred, for issues to be fixed later. And not a bug, where the behavior is actually expected. Moving on to question number 3. What are the different stages in a defect life cycle? The various stages in a defect life cycle include: new means when a bug is reported, it's assigned to a developer. Fixed, that is after the developer resolves it. Moved to QA, ready for retesting. Retested, the QA team checks it again. Closed, if resolved. Reopen, if the issue persists. Duplicate, on that stage if it's already reported. Redundant, not needed anymore. Deferred, postponed to a future release. Moving on to question number 4. What would you do if you find a defect? When you find a defect, follow these steps. First one, reproduce the issue to make sure it's consistent. Second one, try to recreate it across different devices or browsers. Third, take a screenshot of the error. Fourth, collect logs if needed. Finally, document the defect in your team's bug tracking tool with all relevant details. On to question number 5. What is a latent defect? A latent defect is a hidden issue in the system that doesn't cause immediate failure or impact the user experience. These defects remain dormant because the specific conditions that trigger them rarely occur. They are often discovered much later in production environments. Now, question number 6. What is the difference between a latent and masked defect? Latent defects exist in the system but do not affect functionality since the triggering conditions are not met. Masked defects, on the other hand, are hidden behind other defects. They are only found when the other, more visible defect is resolved first. Now, question number 7. What is bug leakage? Bug leakage happens when a defect is missed during testing and make it to production. It's only discovered later by the end user. This indicates a gap in the test coverage or test effectiveness, and such bugs are called leaked bugs. The phenomenon itself is known as bug leakage. Moving on to question number 8. What are the causes of software defects? Let's look at the causes of software defects. First, ambiguous or incomplete requirements. When requirements are not clearly defined or are missing important details, it can be lead to misunderstandings and faulty implementation. Second one, lack of clarity regarding the software's intended purpose. If the team doesn't fully understand what the software is supposed to do, they might build the wrong feature or miss key functionalities. Next, communication gaps within the team. Poor communication between developers, testers, and stakeholders can lead to inconsistent information and errors. Another major cause is inexperienced or underqualified team members. When the team lack the necessary skill or experience, mistakes are more likely to happen. Also, human errors. during the software development lifecycle or SDLC can introduce defects at any stage from planning and coding to testing and deployment. Finally, external influences such as issues with third-party applications or integration problems can also cause unexpected defects in the system. Understanding these causes helps in identifying risk early and improving software quality. On to question number 9. Which are the key fields while creating a bug report? Now let's talk about the key fields that should be involved while creating a bug report. First is the bug title. This is a short and clear summary of the issue, making it easy to identify. Next, the description. It provides detailed information about the bug, explaining what's going wrong. Then, steps to reproduce. These are clear step-by-step instructions to help others recreate the bug. Followed by the expected result. This describes what should happen under normal circumstances. And the actual result, which shows what actually happens instead. We also need to specify the severity or priority, indicating how critical the bug is and how urgently it needs fixing. The environment. That field tells us where the bug occurred, including operating system, browser, or app version. Attachments like screenshots, logs, or videos can support the report and help developers investigate faster. Then we note who reported the bug and the date it was found. The status of the bug shows whether it is new, in progress, or resolved. Finally, the assigned to field shows who is responsible for fixing the issue. A well-documented bug report with all these fields helps the team resolve problems effectively and reduces delays in the development cycle. Let's test your understanding with a quick question. Which of the following best defines a software bug or defect? Option A feature requested by the client. B, a syntax error found during compilation. C, a flaw in the software that causes it to produce incorrect or unexpected results. Option D, a user manual that is hard to understand. Think carefully and drop your answer in the comment sections below. We will check and discuss the correct answer shortly. Don't forget to explain your choice if you can. Thanks for being part of the section. If you found it useful, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more easy to follow testing tutorials and interview guidance. See you in the next part of the interview preparation series. Thank you.